Humble. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Shalom, Mizrael, Shalom. You got that mic too. Shalom, Mizrael, Shalom. We back at it, part 2 of the Sabbath service. Finish where we left off in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. It's the Rfid chip, the mark of the beast. Let's deal with it.
It's the book of Revelation, right? Chapter 13. We're gonna start at verse 5, right? Picking up where we left off at.
Yeah, and if you wonder why we have verse 5, you have to go back and watch the previous Sabbath service called the Revelation 13, the image, the mark, and his name. And you'll see verses 1 through 4 broken down to a T. So now we're picking it back up, and this is a controversial topic, right? So let's deal with it. Revelation 13 and 5.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse number 5. And there was given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Right, so there was given him a mouth speaking blasphemies that he could continue 42 months. What are the blasphemies of the so-called white man? Let's go to the book. You have some? Con. Right, Con.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and that they should be given into his hand unto a time and times and dividing of times. So those great things that he is God. He sits in the seat of God, man. Right? He is Caesar bullshit. He's changing up everything, right? From the daytime to the nighttime, man. He making everything perverse and wicked. He's speaking great things of blasphemy, man.
Right. Saying that he's Jesus Christ, man. He's God. I'm the angels. I'm the so-called original man was Adam. He had to be a so-called white man, and his woman was a white man. These are blasphemies, man, that we niggas, blacks, spits, wetbacks, right? And this is against the Most High, man. You talk about a man's son, you're talking about the father too. You know? That is this Zephaniah, right? About the words and the pride of the so-called white man. Let's go to Zephaniah chapter 2, and let's read 15. Zephaniah chapter 2 and 15.
It's the book of Zephaniah, chapter 2 and verse 15. This is the rejoicing city.
This Babylon the Great, the rejoicing city
that dwelleth carelessly.
They don't have no concern. These average Americans, they're not worried about World War III, Jacob's trouble, martial law, FEMA. They worried about Starbucks having a good time, COVID-19 allowing stores to open back up. Is Biden the president-elect or not? This is what they worried about. This is a careless city.
That said in her heart,
that say this in their mind,
I am.
What they say?
I am.
Who said that I am? Originally. The Most High said I am, man. That's found in the book of Exodus. He said, tell them I am sent you, man. I am that I am. Which we know, which we will break it down in third person as Yahweh. Come.
It's the book of Exodus, chapter 3 and verse 13. And Moses said unto God, behold, when I come unto the children of Israel, and shall say unto them, the God of your fathers have sent me unto you, and they shall say to me, what is his name?
What? So the Most High has a name. What is his name?
What shall I say unto them? And God said unto Moses, I am that I am.
Right. Now you can't say I am because you're not the Most High. Right. I can't walk into a room and I tell Araya, hey, Araya, tell him I'm here. So Araya goes into the room and says, hey, look, I'm here. That makes no sense.
Right.
You have to say, hey, look, he's here. Right. So tell him I am. Tell him my name's Yahweh. He is. He to be. He exists. You know? So Babylon the Great, they're the ones now that say I am. I'm the Most High. Right? I'm the living God. I control everything. I have dominion. My cameras, my satellites, my medicine, my education. I am that I am. These are the blasphemies that they speak. So let's go back to that Revelation 13 and 5. Right?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 5. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
So let's go through that fairly quickly. We go through this often, and there's individual code cuts on it, but let's just go through that quickly. Do brothers understand the 42 months? La'ah. All right, let's go to it. All right. What does it mean of 40 and 2 months? Let's go to Genesis chapter 7 and 11. Exactly. The time, but we're going to break it down. Genesis chapter 7 and 11.
It's the book of Genesis. Chapter 7. Right? All the brothers should be taking notes of this, man. Right?
Yeah, you got to be taking
There's
notes.
prophecy in the scriptures that repeats itself. Right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 7, and verse number 11.
Because we already know this. We're not doing this to edify. I mean, we are going to get edified through the Spirit, but predominantly it's for the nation of Israel. Right?
In the 600th year of Noah's life, and the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the foundations of the great deep broken up, and the windows of heaven were open.
Go back and read that again, slow. Verse, y'all got to pay attention to this. You can't miss a beat. Verse, the Lord is like a king. The Lord is about to give you the calendar in the Bible, how to determine months and years and dates. It's in the Bible.
It's verse number 11. In the 600th year of Noah's life.
In the 600th year of Noah's life.
In the second month, the 17th day of the month, the same day were all the foundations of the great deep broken up.
Right. So you had the 600th year of Noah's life, the 17th day of the month. Right. In the second month, the foundations of the great deep were broken up. Right. You had the second month. It's lucky for the handwriting, brothers. Right. The 17th. All right. What happened? The flood began. At this date right here, it's documented. Moses, the Lord got to do Moses. What time this happened? The 17th day of the second month. That's when the flood began. Now let's jump up to 24. Genesis 7 and 24.
Verse 24. And the waters prevailed upon the earth 150 days.
And you had the waters on the earth 150 days. That's how long the waters were on the earth. The flood started the 17th day of the second month, and the waters were on the earth 150 days. You brothers following so far? All right. Let us know if we're moving too fast. Let's go to Genesis 8 and 3.
The book of Genesis, chapter 8 and verse number 3. And the waters returned from off the earth continually. And after the end of the 150 days.
After the end of the 150 days,
the waters were abated.
The waters began to diminish from off the earth. They started to go down. That's what the word abate means.
Verse 4. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Iraq.
Right. Read that again, Baba King.
Verse number 4. And the ark rested in the 7th month.
So the ark rested on the 7th month.
On the 17th day of the month.
On the 17th day of the month.
Upon the mountains of Iraq.
So the flood began on the 17th day of the second month. It was over on the 17th day of the 7th month. That was 150 days. How many months is that? What's the difference? 5 months, right? So if this is a difference of 5 months, and it's in 150 days, how many days are in each month? 30 days. Brothers understand that, right? Right? So again, for brothers that's having a hard time, the flood started the 17th day of the second month. It was over the 17th day of the 7th month. That lasted 150 days. This is a 5-month difference between the second month and the 7th month. 7 minus 2 is 5. Right? 150 divided by 30. It's like 150 divided by 5, you're going to get 30 months. All right, so you're going to divide your 150 days by 5 months. All right, it's not too complicated. You got to know a little bit of math in this thing.
Geography, math.
Yeah. Prophecy, the Lord requires mathematics. Simple math. All right, so here you have it. All right, again, one more time. The flood began on the 17th day of the second month. It was over the 17th day of the 7th month. It lasted 150 days. That difference is 5 months, 150 days, divided by those 5 months to tell you how long each month is. 30 days in each month. How many months in a year? Biblically, how can you prove that it's 12 months in a year? Let's find out. You gotta go through the precepts.
All right, this is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 4 and verse 7. And it reads, and Solomon had 12 officers over all Israel, which provided victuals for the king and his household, each man his month in a year made provisions. So we had 12 officers. Each one of these 12 officers is over for each month of the year. Then you know it's 12 months in the year.
Do brothers understand that? That's plain upon tables.
Plain upon tables.
That's 1 Kings 4, what? You started 7? Let's go to Esther 2, and let's start at 12. Esther 2 and 12. He had 12 officers, one for each month of the year. So it's telling you it's 12 months in a year. Let's go to Esther 2 and 12. The book of Esther, the second chapter, we're going to start at verse 12. And see how the king had things done. And wisdom.
This is the book of Esther, chapter 2 and verse 12. Now, when every maid's turn was come to go into King Archerets, after that he had been 12 months, according to the manner of the woman, for so were the days of their purification accomplished, to wit 6 months with oil of myrrh.
So the king had these women be purified 6 months with oil and myrrh,
and 6 months with sweet odors.
And sweet odors for 6 months. So half the year they had this regimen, and half a year they had to go through this regimen. 6 months and 6 months. How many months in a year? 12 months. Right? So if it's 12 months in a year, right, we got to write it down, old school. We don't got all of that money to get fancy. So we got 12 months in a year times 30 days. How many days in a year? Right, 360 days in a year. Do brothers understand that? If not, we go over it again.
I just got a question.
Speak up.
Being that they said 6 months with oil of myrrh and 6 months with sweet odors, like that doesn't signify anything, does it? The 6 months?
6 months is just showing you how long they went through this process. There's nothing too significant about it. All right, so what you got, brother?
So they're saying right now that we have 351.
They're saying that we have 365 days. They actually say 365.25. See? And it's 0.25 because you have a leap year every 4 years. You have 0.25, 0.25, 0.25, 0.25 is going to give you that so-called leap year. You have a solar calendar that we live off of in this society. All right, so boom, 360 days in a year. That's how long the time is in the Bible. Let's go to the book of Daniel, the 4th chapter. All right, let's go to the book of Daniel, chapter 4, and we can start at, I'm going to get straight to the point. We want 31.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 4 and verse 31. While the word was in the king's mouth, there fell a voice from heaven saying, O King Nebuchadnezzar, to thee it is spoken, the kingdom is departed from thee.
So King Nebuchadnezzar got proud and said, I built this by the might of my hand and by my majesty. Right? After the Lord just checked him. Go on.
And they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with the beasts of the field.
Right? So he had to live like a beast of the field.
And shall make thee to eat grass and as oxen.
Right?
And 7 times shall pass over thee.
What the Lord say?
7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will.
What does that mean? 7 times are going to pass over him.
7 years.
7 years. He was out there for 7 years. So a time in the Bible is referred to as a year. Do brothers understand that? Right? There's another precept too dealing with times and Psalms. Let me get this real quick. With the Psalms chapter 39, if I'm not mistaken. I have to find it. But David said, my times are with thee. You know? Bear with me 1 second. We're gonna pull up this up. You looking it up? The what? Yeah, we're looking up this precept where David said, "My times are with you," meaning the Most High knows how many years you have on the earth and every life. Right? We're gonna pull this up real quick, just so brothers can get more precepts in their arsenal.
31 and 15.
Kind of sound right. What?
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 31 and verse number 15. My times are in thy hand. Deliver me from thy hand of mine enemies and from them that persecute.
My times are in thy hands. You know how long I have on the earth, Lord. Allow me to be delivered from my enemies. The Lord has all of our times, right? However many times you come on the earth, the Lord knows how long you're going to be there. So time in the Bible is referred to as a year. So anytime you see the word time, it's talking about 360 days. All right, and this is all used to explain 42 months. We're trying to go through it fairly quick. Now, let's go to Daniel 7 and 25 again. The book of Daniel, chapter 7 and 25.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse number 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High.
The so-called white man, he's speaking great words against the Lord.
And shall wear out the saints of the Most High.
And we all worn out, man. Back hurt, knees hurt, neck hurt, stressed. Go on.
And think to change times and laws.
We know that. Christmas, New Year's, time zones.
And they shall be given into his hand.
The Most High is going to give us to the so-called white man
until a time and times and dividing of times.
Till a time and times and the dividing of time. How long is the time, Aki?
1 year.
1 year, right? So we're here for a time, a times, and a dividing of time. So one time is 360 days. Right? It also said a times. We'll show you how to break this down. Right? And a dividing of time. Let's go to Revelation 12 and 14. So a little bit of WFI math, man. Right? Well, got to put back on that, go back to the damn 7th grade, man. But the most I don't need you to know calculus 3, the derivative of this, PEMDAS, right? You don't got to know all that, man.
Salak, you got Jake coming from the hood breaking down prophecies.
Man. Yeah,
bro. Don't need no damn college education in this thing.
Right.
No.
That's right. We're in Revelation 12 and 14. And we're going through this because it said we're here for a time and times and a dividing of time. We know what time is, so now we got to figure out how long times is and the dividing of time.
Come. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse number 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she may fly into the wilderness, and to her place.
Listen to this.
Where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half of time.
And what?
And half of time. A time from the face of the serpent.
So what's another way of saying dividing the time? Half of time. How long is half of a time? How long? 180. Brothers understand how to break down how long this dividing the time is? The Lord, you gotta wait look, you just reading it like a novel. You gotta wait all the way to the book of Revelation. You know, like, hold on, I remember reading that in the book of Daniel. And you gotta go back and break it down, man. Right? So a dividing the time is 180 days. Let's read that again, King Baba Kashab.
Come. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she may fly into the wilderness.
That's Babylon the Great. We're the woman that's here in America.
And to her place, where she is nourished for a time.
A time.
And times.
And times.
And half of time.
And half of time.
From the face of the serpent.
Now, another way of saying that is jump to verse 6.
Verse number 6.
We'll read that in another way.
And the woman fled into the wilderness.
Same thing.
Where she hath a place prepared of God, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
That's how long a time and a half of time is. 1,260 days. right? That's how long the time and dividing time is. You brothers understand?
And Salaki, when you do 1,260 divided by 30 days, it give you 42 months.
Right. And we about to go through that. Real quick, let's go back to Daniel 7:25. So everybody should be understanding now. If we're moving too fast, we're trying to get through this whole chapter. We don't want to bring this in 3 days. You can always pause it, take your time, write it, rewind it, go back and look at it, So we went to Revelation 12:14 to show how long a half a time is, show you how long a time is. This whole thing is 1,260 days. Yeah, we're gonna read that one more time.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 7 and verse 25. And he shall speak great words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand unto a time and times and a dividing of time.
So a time and times and dividing of time. So how do you figure out how long the times is with this information? How do you figure how long a times is based off of this information? If all of this is equal to 1,260 days, how do you figure out how long times is?
1,260 by the 360 days.
This is what you do. 360 plus 180 is what? That's 540. Right? You get 540, right? You subtract 1260 from 540. What you get? Simple math. You should get 720. Right?
So that's 3 years.
That's 2. So 360 plus 720 plus 180 is going to get you 1,260. Does that make sense? If it don't make sense, you got to say something. You get it, brother?
Yeah, I kind of get it.
So times just 2 years.
Times is 2 years. Right. So 360 plus 720 plus 180 is 1260. We broke it down a long way. That's how you chop it up. Just so Jay can understand, we got to chop it up into pieces and put it on a plate. All right? Like Ariah said, it's the same thing as 42 months. If you divide 1260 by 30, you get 42.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you get 540?
Because I took the long way so brothers can understand. I added 180. I added 360. I got 540. So in order to figure that out, we divide 1260 by 540, you get 720. I didn't want to run out. Yeah, I didn't want to give you the quick way, brother. I had to chop it up in pieces. Right? So that's 23 minutes in to break that down. That's not bad. That's not bad. So Revelation 13 and 5 again. So you'll see that terminology in the Bible. 42 months, 3.5 years, time, divided time. That's how you break it down. It's all the same thing.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse number 5. And there were given unto him a mouth, speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Right, 42 months. That's 3.5 years, which is really 350 years. Around 1969-70 to 1619 to around like 1970.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven.
We went over that in Daniel chapter 7 and 25. We always go over how the so-called white man pretends to be the Most High and blaspheme his name by changing laws, incorporating his own customs into the Bible, saying that you can be a homosexual, saying it's okay to be a trans, saying that you can be a dyke, or telling a woman that you don't need no man, right? Or a man you can be with another man. He's enforcing his laws as if he's the Most High.
It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 28 and verse 2. Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up. Whose heart is more lifted up than the so-called white man? Huh? Right, put down flags everywhere on the top of the buildings. Right, all hell breaking loose, man.
Right,
puffed up, right there, painting his whole back with the American flag, right, ready to die, right? It says, thus saith the Lord God, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the seas. Now, brothers, remember what the seas are, right? Right, the people's tongues, multitudes, and nations, right? He sits in the seat of God, right? Saying in the midst of the seas, meaning all the different nations, he sits like he's the chief one, right? Look, I'm God. Bow down unto me. You got all of these different nationalities of people speaking English, man. Why is the so-called white, so-called Chinese man wearing a suit? Why is he shaking the hand? Don't they go like this? Right. Don't they have their ancient rats and their ancient dragons and things like that? But everybody getting drunk off the so-called white man, and it's cesspool of lies, right? Says, I am a God. I sit in the seat of God. What does it mean he sits in the seat of God, man? He paints himself as God, right? Christianity, Roman Catholicism, all of his religions, right? In the midst of the seas, meaning all the other nations, yep, thou art a man. Meaning you nothing but dirt and ashes, man. You a heathen. And not God, though thy set thine heart as the heart of God. Right? So the so-called white man, prideful, man. And he says that I am, and he says that he is God.
That's right. That's right. So this is the blasphemy that he's speaking. It says, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against the Most High to blaspheme his name and his tabernacle and them that dwell in heaven. And we're the tabernacle. All right, we're the body. And them, even the angels, he's blaspheming Michael. They got Michael looking like a homosexual. Gabriel looking like a pedophile. The heavenly host looking like gay little white pedophilic babies. That's blasphemy.
Verse number 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
Right, and that tells you that the so-called white man runs the earth. You can link that up with Job 9:24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Power was given unto him over everybody on the earth.
And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain for the foundation of the world.
So if you're not in this truth, you're going to worship the so-called white man. Hands down. You can call it what you want to call it. You can call it Islam. That go back to the Catholicism. Right? You can call it Christianity, still the worship of the so-called white man. You can call it whatever you want to call it. The Lord said it all goes back to the worship of the beast. That's the religion, beastism, right? Beastism or bestiality, right? That's what people are into, man. Bestiality. The Lord, and they even lie down with this beast. I'm gonna get that up the law. You got it.
Yeah, but real fast, like don't, you know what I'm saying? Don't read this carnally, man. You people bowing down to the so-called Christmas, Halloween, right? Don't think you just got to get on your hands and knees and just worship the image like this, man. It's not carnal like that, man. You got people drunk as hell at work, right? Them singing la la la. They just drunk, man. Just worshiping the so-called white man, man.
Passing around the mistletoe.
Yup.
That's worshiping the beast, like the brother said.
I mean, right?
Right. You got a point, Elder.
Even last night when I went home, as I'm going to my neighborhood, I'm saying all these Christmas lights.
Right, that's worshiping the beast, man. If you celebrate Christmas, you worshiping the beast. If you say that homosexuality is fine in the eyes of my God, then you worshiping the beast, man. Right? You have many different ways to worship the beast. If you're not keeping the commandments, you worship the beast. Straight like that. What you got, brother?
Something about the mistletoe, if you actually look it up, the plant is supposed to be like highly poisonous.
You see that? So they don't know what's going on. Bring it up.
What if it's your job to like decorate at work? You gotta put up Christmas trees.
Well, do what you gotta do and get out of there. All right? Don't enjoy it. Don't say, well, I'm at work, they want me to hand up the stuff, and you trying to tell them what look best, and maybe you should put it over here. Why don't you just hang it up when they tell you and clock out, brother? You don't have to sit there and put your ideas into this thing, right? So let's get this. Let's read on.
Verse number 9. If any man have an ear, let him hear.
Right? If you have a mind to understand this.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Why is the Lord saying that? Because the same people that he's talking about is the so-called white man. That's why it says he doesn't have an ear to hear, let him hear. We just read it was given him to make war with the saints. Right? We were taken into slavery. We were put on slave ships. That's war. We're prisoners of war, man. Right? We're held hostage. They tamper with your water, right? And all of your damn resources. That's biological warfare. They sterilizing your women. All they get making you get abortions, putting drugs in your community. That's warfare. And people get taken captive mentally and physically in warfare. That's what the Lord said. Well, we got something for the so-called white man. Yahweh Shah said this, man. You can understand they going into slavery too. They have to go into slavery. The Lord didn't say they might, they could. It's a strong possibility. If you lead another nation of people to slavery, you're going to be a slave, man. So they're going to go into captivity to 1,000 years, and they're going to be rooted out the earth, man.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 24 and verse 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, man. Who's more high than the so-called white man? Are you looking down at everybody, making laws, decrees, lies, and the kings of the earth upon the earth? And they shall be gathered together as prisoners. So the Lord said, we're going to gather all of them up, man, like prisoners, man. Wasn't we gathered up like prisoners, right? Butt naked in chains, man, getting beat, dragged, right? The Lord said, what? And they should be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in a pit. So we're going to bound them up in chains and throw them in a pit, man. And after many days shall they be visited. So after many days, we're going to drag them up, take them on a trail of tears to Jerusalem, man. That's in the Bible, man. Slavery's in the Bible, man. I did a damn cold cut, part 1 and part 2 on that, man. Endless precepts on slavery.
No, that's right. That's right. So that's what the Lord said. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. They had a transatlantic slave trade. We're going to have a slave trade, man. Let's go to Deuteronomy 30 and 7. Right? We're going to have our own slave trade. We're going to be bidding these Edomites on auction blocks. We're going to put them on a physical. We're going to open up their jaw and see if they got strong teeth or not, man. We're going to touch the field, see if they strong, man. We're going to go through a damn strict regimen, man. They got to be in shape. They got to work. They got to know the law. It's going to be hard. Hey, we got an Edomite who's trying to put himself in slavery right now for us, man. He said, I can come up there and put myself in slavery right now. You know? And he do whatever you tell him to do.
Yeah. Put up 3 fingers, boy.
He tell him to put up 3 fingers. He put up 3 fingers. He tell him to put on a hard hat. He put on a hard hat.
Right. Tell him to sit. He sit.
So you need Edomites like that, man. So we told him come up here in Baltimore and be a slave. You know. So I mean, so we'll see.
Come. Right. It's the book of Deuteronomy.
And he's willfully doing this. You gotta put that out there. Y'all, you gotta wait. You gotta wait. The Lord said, wait upon me. Oh, he's doing this. If you willfully put yourself in slavery, then you know, hey, that's fine.
They willfully kissing the boots, man.
That's right. He said, can I just bootlick or kiss your boots or a damn cash app, man?
See?
I don't care.
You want to pay the bills.
That's right.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse number 7. And the Lord thy God will put all these curses upon thine enemies.
Let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 68. What's the main curse that's going to be put on our enemy? Let's read it.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
That used to be talking about us. Now we read that it's talking about the so-called white man. The Lord going to bring them into slavery again.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
So we're going to start pulling that from Esau, man. Y'all going to slavery. We're going to have to build ships, or they're going to have to build their own slave ship because we're not building the damn thing. And then we're going to say, you built that ship, go in the bottom of it and shackle yourself up. And we're going to send them, Micah, you may live in an island of what? What's the island, King, you want to live on?
I don't know.
You see that? The brother might live on his own island, man. And we're going to have to get ships. He may get the order and say, look, I want to buy these ships, buy these slaves. And then right, he's the top slave holder in the kingdom. That's a high position. If you want slaves, you got to go through him. Right? So he does the physicals, he has the paperwork. He got a secretary. And if you want slaves, you got to go through a ride. So he said, okay, Micah, he needs these slaves. You round up, you hire a bunch of 10 men, you're gonna round up these slaves, you hunting them down, Esau on the run, throw the rope around him, drag them, put them on a ship, and send them to Micah. Now Micah can do what he want to do with these slaves in righteousness.
In righteousness, anything.
Yeah, that's right, man. You know, this in the Bible. You can go on.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more
You're
again.
not gonna see France no more again. England no more again. When can I go back home? You're not going home, man.
London.
Yeah, London, Germany, Babylon. That's done away with. This your new home, right?
And there you should be sold unto your enemies.
Because we they enemies, man. And they're gonna be sold to us. 30 shekels, 50 shekels, right? 3 omers of barley, right? These are the measurements that, brothers, you gotta get familiar with, man, right? Shekels, omers, a bath of oil. You know, I may want 3 slaves for 1 bath of oil. You know,
For bondmen and bondwomen.
right? Bondmen. I mean, these are biblical terms and measurement, man. We're not gonna be dealing with 20s and 50s and 10s, man.
Right, wads of cash.
Yeah, we're not dealing with wads of cash. We're dealing with baths of oil, a hin of wheat. You know, 30 shekels in that gira. You gotta know these things, man.
And no man shall buy you.
And ain't no man gonna get them out. Ain't no great white hope. Ain't Larry Bird can't get you out of this thing. White Jesus,
Bill Clinton,
Rocky from the movie. He's not gonna get you out of slavery, man. Whoever these so-called white men they look up to, Zeus, ain't gonna save you, man. You in there? Yeah, Jupiter. Yeah. You got something?
Nah.
So hey, they going into slavery, man. We can talk about slavery all day. You ought to do a video just slavery, man.
I did.
Oh, there you are. See that?
Had to get on.
You gotta watch that video, man.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse number 10 again. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
Hey, that's what these Christians, that's what Jesus said, according to the Christians. You want to talk about Jesus? Why did Jesus say, and we're using that for the world, why did he say people going into slavery, man?
Right.
Why would Jesus Christ want to put people in slavery? If he loves everybody. So they don't know the Bible. Ask your pastor, why does the Lord say that people put people in slavery? They go into slavery.
Verse number 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lion, and he spake as a dragon.
Now this beast is speaking about Babylon the Great. He had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Right? Now a lamb is known for what? Characteristics: peaceable, docile, quiet, loving. Let's go to Psalm chapter 55 and 20. Let's get the attributes of Esau. He pretends to be a lamb, but he's really a dragon. He'll come to you and say, I love you, you're my friend. I want to show you how to be a civilized nation. Here's a church, here's a liquor store. Next thing you know, people in there drunk. Hey, out there in Afghanistan, it used to be kind of so-called nice, man. Now when you go over there, it's bomb. They got liquor stores, porn shops. Because Esau got his hand in that society, man. Pizza Hut, McDonald's. Esau is everywhere, man. You got McDonald's everywhere. Over 1 billion served. You got Ishmaelites eating damn Big Macs now, man. Now they was eating goat back in the day. Now they eating the Big Macs.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 55, and verse number 20, and it reads, He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with
The Lord will, Esau will attack you even if you have peace with him.
He hath broke.
You ain't do nothing wrong. He's going to drop bombs on you. Gad didn't do nothing wrong. Gad was at peace, and Reuben and the rest of the northern kingdom, the so-called white man said, I want to put you into slavery. That's what so-called Christopher Columbus said. He said that these so-called native Indians, they will make good slaves. So he put forth his hands against people that was at peace with him. Go. Hold on, let's finish the verse.
Verse number 20. He hath put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He hath broken his covenants.
So-called white man made 1,000 peace treaties with the so-called Native Americans, and we know he ain't keep not one of them. All of them. That's right.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter.
Yeah. We're just here to help you guys out. You know, we're going to send a few guys over there and try to resolve the conflict in your land. We heard that you got a lot going on. We just sent 30,000 soldiers over there for 5 years. And we'll try to see how things go. Right?
But war was in his heart.
Now, next thing you know, they raping children, man. They guarding opium plants. They stealing the oil. They're saying, oh, they have weapons of mass destruction. Al-Qaeda is sitting there plotting a terrorist attack. Let's go over there. Not next thing you know, the whole thing is over damn opium, man, and oil, heroin. And this so-called white man is a real so-called gangster, man. You think you cool, you pushing an ounce of weed, you know what I'm saying? And you're there, but this man, he's pushing shiploads of cocaine. I mean, shiploads, man.
Plane loads.
Yeah, plane loads of coke, plane loads of heroin, plane loads of all of this, man. He pushing weight, man. You know? A lot of you jakes, you think you know what's going on, man, because you got, yes, I'm talking money. You got a damn stack of money tomorrow. Yes, I'm talking money. Because you just sold an ounce of weed, man.
Right, don't hit me on this phone, hit me on that phone.
Yeah. Yeah, Jake, yeah, right. Jake say that stuff, man. And the so-called white man, he pushing weight, man. And he shut things down. But he won't do that up front. He'll pretend that he's an average, nice white man. Let's go to, you have another one?
Nah, I was going to finish.
All right.
His words were softer than oil.
They were softer than oil.
Yet were they drawn swords.
See that? Drawn swords. He's talking to you while he's reaching for his weapon. Let's go to Daniel 11 and 32. All right, the book of Daniel, chapter 11 and 32.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 11 and verse 32. And such as do wickedly against the covenant shall he corrupt by flatteries.
How does the so-called white man corrupt you? By his flatteries, by his talk, his wine, right? His policies, his doctrine, his laws, legislation. This is how he corrupt the people.
But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits.
The people that believe in the Most High, they're not going to be caught up in that thing. And that's talking about the Maccabees when you read that. Because Antiochus came and corrupted men like Jason, Alchemist, and other men through flatteries. But the brothers, the Levite brothers, the Maccabees, they knew they God and they started killing a lot of them, huh? When you read that account. Now, brothers understand that, right? So let's go back to Revelation 13.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Horns in the Bible represent what? Power. Power, strength, power. Esau's power comes from his religion and his politics. That's his strength. That's how he subdues the nations. Christianity, democracy. Right? He's not coming with Hinduism. He's not coming with anything else except his philosophies, which is predominantly his politics and his religion. Those are his two horns like a lamb. That's what makes him seem peaceable. When he comes and says, well, we just want to set up a democracy. We just want to set up Christianity. We just want to build a church here. Remember what the so-called missionaries did when they came to the land of Ham? Yeah, we just want to show you guys the Bible. There's this old saying, they say when the so-called white man came to this side of the world, they came with a Bible, and then the people had the land, and then the damn next day, they had the land, and the people had the Bible. You know, because they put them to sleep, like our forefathers with that Christianity, that slave master Christianity, while they stole your land. So that's how he didn't need no gun, he didn't need no weapon, he manipulated you. The serpent is more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God has made.
And unicorn, their horn is their strength, right? Knocking down anything in its pathway. And it's a precept on the horns being the strength.
And a unicorn is not the internet.
Right.
Brothers are saying that.
The internet?
Yeah.
I ain't heard that one.
Because they say it abide by your crib, because you got the modem set up in your crib.
Damn. See? It's the book of Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders stood a lamb, talking about Yahushua, as it had been slain, having 7 horns, complete dominion and strength, right? And 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of Yahweh, sent forth into all the earth. So straight like that, man. 7 is a number of completion. He has 7 horns, meaning of strength and power.
God. The Lord said in Luke chapter 1 about lifting up the horn of Yahushua, the horn of our salvation. You know, so your horn represents your power and your strength. So this the power and strength of America is their religion and their politics. And he speaks like a dragon. A dragon is a destructive. When you look this word dragon up in the Greek, it literally means a large serpent. It's not a big flying red creature like we went into before. All right. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse number 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. So they're a revised Roman Empire, right? They do the exact same thing as the ancient Greco-Roman Empire. That's what it means. He caused them to worship the first beast that was before him. Because the people of the Edomites of America are the people of Spain, the people of France, the people of Germany, the people of Greece, right? All of these different nations that came out of the ancient Roman Empire, they're here in America now, and they tell you to follow the same ways that they did back then. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 17 and verse 8. And the beast that thou sawest was, right, the Roman Empire, and is not, it came out of power, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, and shall go into perdition, destruction. And they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names are not written in the book of life. Just like we read in Revelation 13 and 8. From the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. Because he came back in the power of being American. That's the beast that was, right? And it's not, and yet is, like the brother going into. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse number 14. And 13, verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Right. So now Esau's technology is a great wonder. He had something called what is that? When they napalm. Brothers know about napalm in Vietnam. What's napalm, brother?
It's like a bomb with like this liquid that burns you.
Exactly. And they would come down from high in the sky. They used it during Vietnam and other wars. Right? They would have this fire ascend from heaven and burn up men. You can look it up. They had missiles, right? They had Fat Boy and Little Man, right? Which were atomic bombs used to destroy cities in Japan in World War II, Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Yeah, napalm, right? These are the things that Salakia. Right, that's what it's talking about. Great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And you can kind of pull up, if you want to, you kind of put up a video on that thing, man. But when you watch it, you see that says the devilish brew that changed war. Damn, that's Esau, man. That's one of the title of the videos. So they would send this plane down, it would literally make fire rain down from heaven. I mean, see that? Right? So it would make fire rain down from heaven. All right. That's one of the miracles. It's not Esau's great knowledge and wisdom. It's a miracle to do that. Right. I mean, this devil's technology is a miracle, man. How do you do it? How do you do a live stream? FaceTime. You know, this is video recording. Damn texting, man. This is we sound like cavemen, but this is the so-called white man's technology. That's a miracle. He got stuff that flies faster than the speed of sound, man. Hypersonic. Can you sit there and just, I want to build a missile, and the thing will launch up, and it's heat seeking. This stuff is unheard of, man. Exactly, man. You can damn go on Google and type in your address and see your mother cutting grass, man. Yeah. See your father on the front line. Yeah, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? That's true, man. The hell? This devil got night vision goggles, damn portals, camouflage, invisible cloaks. They got certain things you kind of turn invisible. Yeah, you can sit there and then there could be a brother sitting right there. And we can't see him, but he kind of got in here. Witchcraft. Yeah, that's all it is, witchcraft. That's all. Let's get that. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18. But the world will call it, they'll glorify it. And that's why the other nations come to America, because they feel as though America's the leading power in technology. Right? They're the founders of the Industrial Revolution. If you want anything that's going to be beneficial and the technology tip, you got to come to America. The Lord said these are miracles. There's no way that you should be able to do this unless you tap into some so-called divine spirit, like Satan.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 23. And the light of a candle shall shine no more at all indeed, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all indeed. And thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. Said by their sorceries, not by their strength, not by their understanding, but by their sorceries, man. That sorcery is tapping in to make these type of devices, man. Right? It's impossible to do these things, man. Like the brother said, you got night vision goggles. You can see down in the middle of the ocean. It's pitch black.
Got a submarine.
Got a submarine. Can see radar, right? Hundreds and thousands of miles away.
They talk to dolphins a lot.
Right? See, they talking to damn dolphins, right? You got they all on one part of the earth, and they can see where a bomb is coming with the so-called whatever this is in the sky, man. The radar. How the hell can you see something 100,000 miles away and no one is coming and prepared to go to battle, man? That's sorcery.
That's right. So these are the miracles of the so-called white man. His destruction, his RPG grenades, plasma grenades, all types of stuff, man. That's what we're reading about in Revelation chapter 13 and 13. The Lord called these things miracles or witchcraft. All right, let me get a quick precept on that. All right, quick precept dealing with this witchcraft of the so-called white man. That's all it is, man. Right? You're looking at that touch screen with that virtual reality. When you log yourself inside a damn video game, you can feel the pain. They got video games, if you get tackled, you feel it, man. You got to take a damn ice bath with a virtual reality, man. They had that. You got to sit there and ice yourself. Yeah, you hook up the nose, see your nerve senses, and you can feel that thing.
Getting whooped in the ring.
Yeah. And Esau got, they had this TV show, Black Mirror. Brother seen that, and they had these two Jakes. I don't want to talk too much about it, but they logged into this video game, right? And then you know what happened from there if you've seen that. And they have technology like that. You seen that, brother? Yeah, it was mad. It was bad, man. Now I want to get this quick precept in Isaiah chapter 47, the classic. Right? And they have technology like that, man. Right? Isaiah chapter 47, and I'm going to read I'm going to get straight to the point. This is Isaiah chapter 47, and I'll start at 13. I'll start at 12. It reads, stand now, this is Isaiah chapter 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou should be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. So this society has been rooted in sorcery. Even the so-called founding fathers were heavy into masonry, Freemasonry rather, witchcraft, sorcery, pedophilia, homosexuality. There's paintings of so-called George Washington with a checkerboard floor, man. Hands in their pockets, throwing up symbols, because this society is rooted in sorcery.
I've seen that they said all the presidents are related to each other.
Yeah, they say that too, right? So that's not far-fetched dealing with these devils. All right, so let's deal with that. Revelation 13 and 14.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
That's witchcraft, to deceive somebody. They manipulate your mind with the power that they get from Satan to make you believe that they are God. Just like, what was the purpose of Yahweh Bashim's miracles? Was to get you to believe. Right, let's get that in John 9, I believe 9 and 4. What Yahweh said, neither was this man born blind, nor his parents, but that the works of the Most High could be wrought in him, paraphrase. That's the purpose of the miracles, to get you to believe in the Most High.
It's the book of John, chapter 9, and I'm going to start at verse number 3. Hamashiach answered, neither has this man sinned.
Neither hath this blind man sinned,
nor his parents.
His parents didn't commit a sin for him to be born blind,
but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him.
So this man was only born blind so the Yahweh Shah can heal him and people can believe in the Most High. That's the purpose of him turning water into wine. That's the purpose of him walking. Yes, the Lord walked on water. And yes, the Lord turned water to wine. And yes, the Lord fed thousands of people with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, man. You got brothers saying that stuff never happened. Those brothers going off, man. The Lord performed every miracle from the beginning to end, man. These things are written. Now, these miracles are used to get Jake to believe in Yahushua, right? That's why the so-called white man performs his miracles. That's why he has the technology, the FaceTime, the science, the pharmaceutical industry. If he didn't have these things, why would you believe that this man had any power? But if he's able to heal you, right? If he's able to teach you, if he's able to persuade you to believe in him, surely you're going to believe that this man is God. These are the miracles that he had power to do in the sight of the beast. That's how he deceived the masses of the people.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles, which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by Salakia, that had the wound by the sword and did live.
Right, that they should make an image to the beast that had a wound by the sword and did live. Now, a lot of brothers still say that's just an actual image. It's deeper than that. It's not just a literal image of Caesar Borgias. It's not just the image of white Jesus, right? The image is more so a spiritual thing, right? When you go into this image, this name, this number, this mark, the number of his name, those things aren't literal, right? The image of his name, you got 3 steps. Come.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 9 and verse 6. Whosoever shed man's blood, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of Yahweh made he man. Right? That's on a physical level and on a spiritual level, man. We was made to be perfect. We was made to be on fire, just like the Lord is a consuming fire, man. We was made to live forever, just like the Lord is going to live forever. We coming in the image of our Father.
That's right. Colossians chapter 3 and 10. I mean, we're going to read 9 and 10, right? If I say I want to tarnish Micah's image, does that mean I'm going to go to his house and spray paint his photo album black with all of his pictures? If I want to tarnish his image, what does that mean? Right, I mean, what does that do for him? What is his image? His name. Is that his literal name, Micah? What is your name? Your reputation. What's another word for your reputation? Well, yeah, your image.
And Salakia, real fast. Jake said in the street, and my name hold weight, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Name don't weigh nothing, man.
That's right.
That's name meaning that image that they come in there.
It's all hip talk. Your character. That's another word. Your reputation. What you stand for. That they should make an image to the beast that had a wound by the sword and did live. We want to revitalize the Roman Empire when we had power. Let's revitalize homosexuality. Let's revitalize freakism, right? And do as thou wilt. That's right. So let's go to Colossians 3 and 9.
This is the book of Colossians, chapter 3, and verse number 10. And have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge, after the image of him that created.
See that? So that knowledge gives you a new image, right? It's not speaking about you're literally going to look like Yahushua. Because you got brothers in here, you know, from different tribes and from different skin tones. Not all of us have that burnt brass skin. So does that mean that don't apply to you? I can't look like Yahushua. He's image. He's dark skin. I don't know. It's not talking about that, man. It's talking about your spirit, your image, what you stand for. Let's go to Psalms chapter 73. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 73. And let's read 20. Come.
It's the book of Psalms, chapter 73, and verse number 20. As a dream, when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
Read that again, Baba Kishah.
As a dream, when one awaketh, so, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image.
So when the Lord returns, he's going to despise the image of the so-called white man, meaning what they stand for. Sin, cloning people, aborting babies, you know, trying to be the most high. All of that is his image, man. And if you try to tarnish the so-called white man's image, he'll kill you, man. You got these men that'll say, look, so you have people that try to speak out against the secret societies, they end up coming missing, man. They end up dead. These Edomite whistleblowers, they'll assassinate you. They'll shoot you in the head if you try to tarnish their image. You know, people don't play around with their image, man. They take that to heart. Man, in the truth too, man. That's what the Lord is big on, not slandering and being the damn busybody and the gossiper. Because you got to uphold your image. That's all you got. And when you go in and you in the grave, all you got is your name. That's Ecclesiastes 7, man. That your name is better than precious ointments. Precious ointment is temporary. Your name is doing forever. We still talk about Abraham, Moses, Noah, Enoch, Elijah. Not because of those literal names, but what they have done on the earth.
And that's why the Lord said this. It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 3 and verse 1. This is a true saying. If a man desire the office of a bishop, he desire for good work. A bishop then must be blameless, the husband of one wife, vigilant, sober, of a good behavior, given to hospitality, apt to teach, not given to wine, nor striker, right, nor greedy of filthy lucre, but patient, not a brawler, not covetous, one that ruleth well his own house, having his children in subjection with all gravity. For if a man know not to rule his own house, how shall he take care of the church of Yahweh? So the Lord letting you know, look, man, and nobody could just be right a bishop in this thing. They have to have a perfect name, a perfect image. They can't be a drunken. They can't have multiple wives. They can't be a striker. They can't pay out all of these things. His image got to be clean in this thing, man.
Right? Blameless. Right? So that's what it means in Revelation 13, that they will make an image by the up to the beast, which had a wound by the sword and their lip. And part of that image is physical things. Part of the image is worshiping that Caesar Borgias, wearing a cross. That's all part of it, but it's deeper than just physical things. It's on a spiritual level. Now, Salaki, you got your phone on you? Yeah. Let's go to the blue letter real quick. We're going to apply some real quick. You got precept?
It's the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15 and verse 4. For neither did the mischievous inventions of men deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors and painters of fruitful labors, man. So that didn't deceive the elect, man. They ain't deceived the men that have the knowledge of truth. Or you can't paint an image of the Lord and then people just get beguiled by that, man. It said, what? For neither did the mischievous invention of men. What does men invent? Caesar Borgia, the angels, right? Everything being a so-called white man, deceive us, nor an image spotted with diverse colors, or the physical image, the painter's fruitless labor, man. Meaning that labor that he painted that didn't mean a damn thing, man.
Now, when you go to the blue letter, and we're going to the blue letter, we're going to prove something to you. You gotta know what's going on in this thing. Right? Don't take everything literal just because you go to the etymology of it, or the Greek or the Hebrew. You will be a fool, man, to take everything literal. Your whole understanding is going to be off. So we're going to go to this word in the Greek for image. And we're going to go to other words in the Greek. Right? You pulled it up already? Brother on it.
1504. Icon.
It's icon. That's the Greek word for image. Now, it literally says in the Strong's definition, a likeness, literally a statue or a profile. So if I didn't have any understanding, I would have thought that this devil, he's going to make a statue or a profile. You may say, prove it to me. Well, brother, that's what the blue letters say. It says a statue or a profile. So can you just go off with a blue letter to get the understanding and deep prophecies and allegories? No, because this devil you actually think is literal, man. Now it says figuratively a representation or resemblance. But how would you have to know to pick and choose which one's right and wrong? It's giving you two of them. You have to have discernment, right?
Let me get a quick precept on that, man. That's a heavy spirit to have. You gotta have discernment in this thing, man. It's like the brother said, you don't want to take everything literal. Right? You're gonna get jammed up. It's the book of Malachi, chapter 3 and verse 18. Then shall ye return and discern between the righteous and the wicked. So you got to discern things in this truth, man. Don't just go what anybody tells you. Jump up in the blue letter, right? Then you just jamming every word with every word, and next thing you know, your understanding is off, right? Just like mountains. When you see mountains in the scriptures, I don't mean the same thing. Every time it's a mountain, it's a chariot, right? Or it's an obstacle, or it's a nation. You have to have discernment to know, okay, in this context, okay, the Lord is not talking about that. Okay, right here, he's not talking about that. Okay, you have to have discernment in this stuff. Between the righteous and the wicked, and between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. But the point is, then should you return, meaning have the truth in you, the law, statutes, and commandments, and you're going to know and you're going to be able to discern these things.
That's right. That's right. So we back in Revelation 13 and 15.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
Let's read that again.
Verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the beast, like unto the image.
Right. So he had life to give Slakia. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. So how do you give life to sin? How do you cause sin to live in the earth? By setting up what? Homosexual bars. This is how you give life to it, right? By creating damn laboratories to perform cloning. By what else? How else people give life to this image? By opening up procedures where you can get a be a tranny. This is how you give life to this image, right? You can have an idea, you can have things formulated, but in order to give life to, you have to bring forth actions. That's how you give birth to these things, right? It don't mean a literal Caesar Borgia has life now, right? He's walking around and talking and speaking. It's spiritually speaking. That's all it's saying. They'll say an image speaks so-called 1,000 words on a literal level, but this image speaks as well, to seduce you and entice you to sin. Let's read that one more time.
Verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
Right, so he's ruling the earth now. So now he can cause these sins to play out on the earth with snares and traps.
That the image of the beast should both speak.
It's speaking through the media. It's speaking through the radio. It's speaking through the newspaper. It's speaking through the false pastors he set up.
Like TV.
Yeah, the television. It's speaking to you to get you to worship. That's why they had this, back in the day, they had, well, they still have it. But if you were to look up the national anthem, it would play the national anthem. Back in the day, around the same time every day, and the TV would cut off. But as they played the national anthem, it would be subliminal messages as the letters popped up on the screen. It would say things like, obey the government, obey government God, consume, worship the beast. And it say different things like that. But if you had a normal eye, you wouldn't catch it. But now in the so-called future, people went back and they rewind. They said, hold on now. Every time these letters change, it's a subliminal message. Because they speaking to you and they want you to worship the beast. That's why they have predictive programming, subliminal messages, witchcraft, sorcery, to play on your mind through these different things that they set up to get you to worship America and get drunk. There's always a cup of wine wherever you go. You may think you're drinking living water in a church, but you getting drunk off the wine.
It even said on the back of the dollar bill, New World Order, man. I believe that's Latin.
Right.
So it's all over the place, man. You just got, like the brother said, you got to have eyes to see these things, man.
Right. And it's speaking to you, not people listen to it, man. They're trying to figure out what's allowing them to accept homosexuality. The beast told you it's okay, man. Now, did the beast come down and literally say, worship homosexuality? No. How is this image speaking? Through the media, right? Slowly, they'll desensitize you to accept the wrong things, man. They'll slowly put that spirit on. This is how they speak to you, like the serpent, man. Right? Because now it's alive. Now sin is alive and it's moving and it's prevalent. It's all parabolic.
Like them frogs in Revelation, they hopping all over the place, man.
Yeah, and
hopping to and fro.
If you look up that word frogs in the Greek, I'm sure that's a literal frog. Right?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 16, and verse number 13. And I saw 3 unclean spirits like frogs. Is that literal? Right? It says, come out of the mouth of the dragon. So if this was a physical dragon, then that would mean a physical dragon. That damn frog's gonna jump out of his mouth, right, and out of the mouth of the beast, right, and out of the mouth of the false prophet. No, the frogs is hopping, meaning all their lies, all their Christianity, Roman Catholicism, the damn Egyptology, everything that they making up for this media is hopping everywhere, man. You got it.
Now you look up the word frog in the Greek, it says a frog, literally.
See,
But that's not literal.
a frog.
Right. See. So if a brother might say it's literal, you say, no, brother, that's spiritual. He gonna say, let me go to the Greek on you, Ak. And he gonna pull this up and he gonna say frog. And we only bringing that out because we about to get to a specific point. Right?
We'll read 15 again. Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15.
That's Salakia, real quick, Salakia King. The brother JK put a good precept, Ephesians 2:1. And you have the quickened who were dead in trespasses and sins, wherein in time past they walked according to the course of this world, according to the prince of the power of the air, the spirit that now worketh in the children of disobedience. So there's a spirit down here that's living and that's infecting the minds of the people and speaking to them. Yeah, why don't you just, it's okay, you were born gay. Yeah, why don't you cut your rod off and turn it to a vagina? Yeah, why don't you go spit game at that dude over there? Yeah, you were bad, but so what? Go spit game at him, book him, wink it, back, wink it. See that? And that's what they tell the people, man.
It's a Bruce Jenner spirit.
That Bruce Jenner.
Bruce Jenner spirit.
Something in my mind's telling me that I really wasn't born a woman. I really was born a man. That's the beast talking to you, man. Through his propaganda and media and witchcraft and sorcery. That's a lie. Revitalized, that's the Roman Empire.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse number 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So if you don't get down with their system, you're killed, man. Right? And those times are coming, man. Right? If you don't denounce Yahweh Basham Shad and accept what the society's putting out there in terms of philosophies, doctrines, even damn literally worshiping the beast, you're gonna get put to death, man. And they've always done that. They did that to Gad, Reuben, Jake. If you didn't worship, if you wasn't with Christianity, they'll chop your hands off and kill you, man. Burn you at the stake if you didn't accept that God loves everybody, that the so-called white man is your master, right? That Jesus is a white man and that I'm God. If you don't accept that, you're put to death. That's all part of his image, the sin that's speaking through religion and politics, the strength of this system.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
So let's go to the Greek, right? We're going to go to the Greek for this word mark, right? And we've done breakdowns on this. It's like I typed the word Greek. Bear with me. Read that again, Baba Gashah.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. And he causeth all.
He causeth all, right? The he is the same beast we read about in Revelation chapter 13 and 11.
Both small and great.
Small and great.
Rich and poor.
Rich men and poor men.
Free and bond.
Free men, elites, right? Rich men. You understand? Men who seem as though they're on top of this society. That's what I mean when I say elites. Damn poor men in the alley. Go on.
To receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
In your right hand and in your forehead. Why would the Lord say right hand and forehead? Why is right hand and forehead significant? First, let's go with this word mark in the Greek.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Charagma or charagma, right? Now the word charagma, it says a scratch or etching, a stamp, or it says a stamp, a badge of servitude, right? It says a stamp and imprinted mark. Is that a literal stamp? Is a so-called white man going to literally stamp your hand and your forehead? Is that what it's talking about?
Like a damn roller coaster ride.
Right. That's not what it's talking. It said literally. I mean, brothers can pull this up in the Greek. You can pull this thing up, right? It says a stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead That's where you can't, you gotta know what's going on when you diving in the blue letter. Or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses. Is that literal? No. Thing carved, a sculpture, a graven work of idolatrous images. Right? Now, we're going to show you that that's not a literal thing. Right? You got a precept?
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse number 1. And I looked, and lo, a lamb stood on the Mount Sinai, with him 144,000, having his father's name written in their foreheads. Why is his name written in their foreheads? Is this literal? In the last days, I mean, that's not literal, man.
Yeah, that would mean the Lord performed massive surgery.
Exactly. Right, or a tattoo or something. Something
Right.
off, man. Right? Hey, having our father's name written in the forehead, that's spiritual, man. Meaning we know the Lord, right? We accept it. We know the law, statutes, and commandments, right? He has sealed us.
Right now, even when you go and we're gonna keep dealing with this word in the Greek. All these words.
Grapho.
That's the word written in the Greek, graphos, to write. Now it says, bear with us because it said written in your forehead. It says to grave. When you grave something, you literally putting it in there, right? When you engrave your name on something, yeah, you chisel it in there, right? That's what the word written means, right? To write, to describe, to write on a tablet, paper, meaning you're carving something in there, right? But is that literally written in the forehead? No, meaning you have the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashim in your mind, how to serve the Most High like the brother went into, how to repent, how to keep the commandments, the law, statutes, the faith. That's in our mind. The significance of the forehead means your mind. Let's get another precept on the forehead. Let's go to Exodus, chapter 13 and 9. Because this whole concept of forehead and right hand are used all throughout the Bible. Now, brothers get stupid when they go to the book of Revelation and they start all hell break loose. You done forgot that the Most High don't change, right? But now you want to make things what you want them to be simply because you watched a few movies and a few Edomites said some things.
Right, watching damn news and all hell done broke loose, man.
Right.
Hey, the Lord said precept upon precept.
Right. Precept, that's precepts. I got a question. Anybody that's teaching otherwise, I need to see precepts. I want 4 precepts. Now, if you can come out and you got 4 precepts, right, and say, well, look, this RFID chip is talking about this because I have this precept, and then it link up with this one, then this one. Then look, we're gonna take the video down, and we'll do another video the right way, supposedly, right? But if you have no precepts, I'm not gonna believe you, man. Don't believe anybody that's not coming with no precepts. All right.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 13 and verse number 9. And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand, and for a memorial between thine eyes, that the Lord's law may be in thy mouth. With a strong hand had the Lord brought thee out of Egypt.
Now, let's read that again.
And it shall be for a sign unto thee upon thine hand.
Does that mean literally you have a sign upon your hand? What is that talking about, brothers? Huh? Your hand. Yeah, you have power to do so.
Strength.
Your strength.
And for a memorial between thine eyes.
Does that mean it's going to be literally in your eyes, meaning your forehead, your mind? It's all hip talk. Go on.
That the Lord's law may be in thy mouth.
Does that mean you got the Bible in your mouth? I'm sitting there and you got the law in your mouth. What does that mean it's in your mouth? You speaking it. Go on.
For with a strong hand.
Does that mean the Lord was doing bicep curls? He got the hand grip that people get when they come out of jail. And he gripping that joint.
Right, that relaxing joint.
Yeah. That's not what it's talking about, man. With a strong hand. Meaning the Most High is powerful wonders.
Had the Lord brought thee out of Egypt.
You see that? So strong hand in your mouth. Damn. See? In between your eyes, your hand. It's all parabolic, man. It's all spiritual.
You're jammed up reading the scripture.
That's right. Let's go to let's get another one. Let's go to Song of Solomon, chapter 8 and 6. Song of Solomon, chapter 8 and 6.
This is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 8 and verse number 6. And it reads, set me as a seal upon thine heart, as a seal upon thine arm, for love is strong as death, jealousy is cruel as the grave, the coals thereof are coals of fire, which have a most vehement flame.
So the Lord says, set me as a seal upon thine heart, right? And upon your arm, man. Remember me, keep me in your mind, and do the law, statutes, and commandments. Love your neighbor, love the Most High. That's what it means, man. Forehead, right hand, all throughout the Bible. Forehead, right hand, frontlets between your eyes, in your hand. Same thing. And the Most High don't change.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 6 and verse 6. And these words which I commanded thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and thou shalt talk of them when thou sittest in the house, and when thou walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou risest up, and thou shalt bind them for a sign upon thine hand. So the Lord said, bind the commandments for a sign on your hand. Right? That's not literal, man. There's no way in the world that all the commandments can fit on your physical hand, man. Right? It said, bind them for a sign on your hand, meaning your strength and your power to do them, and they shall be as frontlets between thine eyes. What shall be the commandments? Right? So just like in anything, the Lord got a just balance. You got the commandments as your strength, the commandments between your eyes, meaning your mind, and you thinking, thus saith the Lord, and you acting with it your strength. Or you can put Esau between your eyes and your mind, think for him, and he think for you, right? You put him as your strength.
That's right.
It's Proverbs 11 and 1.
That's right. So do brothers understand forehead and right hand? Let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 4. Make sense, brother? A little bit? All right, let's go to 1 Timothy chapter 4.
It's the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. And it reads, now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits,
evil demons that are going to come and play and manipulate brothers' minds in the last days,
and doctrines of devils,
teachings that devilish men have set up through evil spirits, talking to them, saying, teach this. Go on.
Speaking lies and hypocrisy, having their conscience seared within hot iron.
That's plain.
Yeah.
Right? Is brother's conscience literally seared with a hot iron if he's an Old Testament Israelite? Can you open up his mind and it's smoke? You see smoke coming out his ears? No, what does it mean his conscience is seared with a hot iron? Yeah, he's done. His mind is burnt. It's finished. He can't come back. Reprobate concerning the faith. If you iron a shirt and you burn it, can you wash it and get that burn out? No, it's over. It's done. Either you throw it away or you keep it and be a fool. Right. So this guy, his conscience is seared with a hot iron. There's no returning back. Now, if we look at that word seared in the Greek, it's going to tell you it's a literal thing. We don't got to pull it up, but that's what it's going to say. All right. So again, Revelation 13 and 16. Kind of make a good time.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse number 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead.
Forehead meaning in your mind. Quick example, you may be somebody that accepts homosexuality, right? And being a freak and a tranny. That's in your mind. You may say they can do that. I don't want it around me though. But I still believe they can do that. That's in your forehead. It hasn't got to your right hand till you're in a gay club dealing with another man in the bathroom. Now it's in your right hand, right? You can go from your forehead to your right hand. 1 minute you believe in it, next minute you doing it. Right? Go on.
Verse number 17. And that no man might buy or sell.
No man might buy or sell.
Saith he that had the mark.
You can't buy or sell unless you got these things you're about to read about. The mark
or the name of the beast.
You also can't buy or sell unless you have the name of the beast.
or the number of his name.
You also can't buy or sell unless you have the number of his name. You need these three things to buy or sell. You got a point? Oh, let's read that again.
Verse 17. And that no man might buy or sell.
Now, this is for brothers that believe it's the RFID chip. We're going to go into this. Go on.
Save he that had the mark.
Let's say that's the RFID chip. Go on.
Or the name of the beast.
You also can't buy or sell unless you have the name of the beast. So what's the name of the beast they're going to put out? I know you know what brothers teach, brother. What do brothers say that the name of the beast is? The barcode. Now, brother could say we wrong and they could come out with the precepts on the name of the beast. You cannot buy or sell. Brothers, they want to say the mark of the beast so much, they don't even talk about the name of the beast. They don't say don't take the. When was the last time you heard a brother say don't take the name of the beast? Don't accept the name of the beast. They hold up the sign, they got the name of the beast. No. They're not doing that because they don't understand the Bible. I hate to put it like that, but it is what it is, right? It says you can't buy so unless you got the name of the beast or the number of his name. Are they saying, well, brother, look, the number of his name is coming, brother. Do no hell break loose the number of his name. Don't take the number of his name, brother. Do they say that? Do anybody say don't take the number of his name? No, that's not, because it's not literal, man. Damn. The mark. Oh, you had a point?
They already got it on phones. We keep our phones for everything. GPS and this stuff. Like now we use Venmo, Cash App, and all this stuff, purchasing in the store. So it's like it's already programming us to.
Yeah, and let's go to the book of Actually, let's read that one more time. Salakia King.
Verse 17.
And the brother, come on now.
And it reads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark.
Now here's the question they would ask us. How do you buy and sell by accepting this man's system? That's the question they ask. You know that question. Yeah, that's the question they'll ask. Let's go to the book of Isaiah.
In the Bible.
Right. Out the precepts.
It's the book of Isaiah.
Now we're not saying take an RFID chip. We always got to qualify. See, them niggas, them Adam Abbots, you know, they said that them things you could do. No, brother, that goes back to the law anyway. That's Leviticus 19:27, I believe. 28. Don't make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print marks upon you. I mean, that's plain. That goes back to the law. So, I mean, what is I have a lot of questions. We're running out of time. I may do a Q&A, man. Do a damn Mark of the Beast Q&A. I might do that, man. You know, if you believe the Mark of the Beast, a Q&A. And I ain't running those. I ain't gonna run from the questions. All right? Brother's gonna like that. They're gonna take that one.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55 and verse number 1. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters.
Come to this truth.
And he that have no money, come ye buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price.
Right. So what does the word buy mean? Does buy always mean a physical transaction? Acquire, to gain. How do you buy knowledge? How do you buy wisdom?
Studying.
By studying, by praying, by fasting, by having a humble mind. That's how you buy these things without price. See that? We want to, Jared, I know you got questions, brother. We're going to deal with it, brother. You know, a lot of people getting hot and heavy.
Right.
They mad at us.
I wish I was there. I wish I was at the school.
They'll choke us, man. They'll flip tape. A lot of brothers, they mad, man. They doing videos right now. They gonna have our pictures on there.
Right,
Yeah. And it's not the first time we dealt with this topic. Right? But I got a few questions. I want Jake to explain the name of the beast that Esau is going to give out and the number of his name that he's going to give out as well. I don't want to hear a damn barcode, man. I heard a brother say 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. See? You know?
I did see the barcode. It was on a bill for the vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know if those things are true, man.
Same with that chemical.
You know how many types of barcodes that there is, man? And yeah, you got it's a whole lot going on. You got UPC, all types of stuff. And more importantly, you got to come out the Bible. You got the precepts, man. Right? So let's go back. The brother put Numbers 23 and 23. Buy the truth and sell it not, also wisdom and instruction and understanding. So in the last days, you're not going to be able to prosper in the society unless you get down with this system. That's what it's saying. All right. They're even now saying if you don't accept the damn damn vaccine, you're not going to be able to go to stores and set up for so and so. You gonna say something?
That's like prophecy.
What?
You can't buy and sell that kind of thing.
Yeah, they saying that's a COVID vaccine. Unless brothers are saying the COVID vaccine is the mark of the beast now. I see brothers trying to incorporate that into this thing now. Now that the COVID vaccine is in it, now they kind of trying to say, well, it's not just the RFID chip, it's part of the COVID vaccine too. Now it's part of the vaccine is part of the.
Right, keep changing.
Yeah, it's changed. First it was Obama. There's videos from brothers said Obamacare. Obama's going to bring it out, man. Yeah, we did an old video. We put out all of those clips, man. It used to be Obama doing it. And it's always something to reach and cleave onto because it's not built off of the scriptures. All right. Now let's read on 17.
Brother.
What do you guys think about taking the vaccine? Like,
Don't take the vaccine. Don't take an RFID chip. Don't sin against the Most High.
No vaccine that's done as good as
Right. Don't do that. Y'all heard it. We tell the brothers don't do it. They can't say that Adam Abbott's came out and said do something. We sold out. They always say we sold out. Well, if I sold out, we need a new car. Right? I need a. Hey, look, man, my damn oil got to get changed. Got to get stuff done. If I sold out, come on now. Right. Come on now. We be in a nice, real luxurious building. We have the fancy garments. And my rent coming up, man. You know, I gotta pay that thing, man. Right? Brothers got stuff they gotta handle, man. I'm on selling out. Right? Bring that out again.
It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 55.
No, Revelation 13. We got 2 more verses. Right? Revelation chapter 13.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse number 17. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark or the name of the beast.
What's the name of the beast you need to buy yourself?
What are you calling yourself? What they calling it?
Getting down with this system, worshiping the beast. It's not a literal name. Don't go to the Greek word for mark, but not go to the Greek word for name and number, but make one physical and turn the other spiritual to fit what you want to say. Don't do that, brother. Go through the precepts. You have to go through the precepts. You want to take one word and isolate it and make a doctrine off of it, but you won't do that for the other precepts. Or within other words within that same verse. Let's pull that. I'm gonna pull this up real quick, King Salaki. You gotta kind of know what's going on. Oh, 7. All right, I'm gonna pull this up real quick. You got a precept, King?
I'm about to get it. It's the book of Exodus, right? Chapter 23 and verse number 20. It says, behold, I send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way and to bring thee into the place that I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Meaning what? The commandments, right? Everything that I'm coming forth with as far as the Father is in this angel, right? He coming in the name of the Father. Just like if somebody beating on your door, they coming in the name of Satan, right? You're not going to open the door, man. That's not literally Satan outside. They coming in the name of Satan. Just like we coming in the name of the Lord. This angel was saying straight up and down, look, the Lord was saying, look, don't provoke this angel, for my name is in him.
Right. So a good name, like we went into earlier, is somebody that's blameless. Right. So when you worshiping, or you can't buy unless you got the name of the beast. It's not a literal name tag that he's going to give you that says Esau. Right. It means you have to get down with this system. Right. Now this word name in the Greek. Let's pull this up. Bear with us. Well, when you look it up, it's onama, right? Or onama, right? In the Greek, it says, here you go again in the blue letter, a name literally or figuratively, right? It says universal and proper names, The name is used for everything which the name covers, everything the thought or feeling of which is aroused in the mind by mentioning, hearing, remembering the name, i.e. for one's mark, authority, interest, pleasure, command, excellences, deeds. The person reckoned by name. So it's not a literal name. That's the point. All right. Now we're gonna go to this word. We got to deal with this, man. I hate that we have to deal with it. Right? Mark, name. It says and number of his name. So you also can't buy or sell unless you got the number. Is that a literal number?
G706. Arithmas.
Arithmas. That's where you get arithmetic from. It says in the Greek, a fixed and definite number. So they think that's a literal number. And the blue letter is telling you it's a literal number. Is that a little? What's the literal number of the beast? Let's read the next verse.
Reading on. The beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that understandeth count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man.
No, it's a number in the barcode.
It's the number of a man.
It's in the RFID chip.
It's the number of a man.
So you can't buy or sell unless you have the number of a man. Right?
And his number is 606.
So you can't buy or sell unless you have the number of this man. What man is that? Esau. So you can't buy or sell unless you have Esau's number. Right? It's the number of a man. Now we know that number 6 is equivalent for destruction. 1 short of perfection. All right? There'll be 6 things which the Lord hated, and a 7 are an abomination to him. 6 is incompletion, 7 perfects it. That's Proverbs 6 and 16.
And Salaki, and 3 is the number of completion. So he's infinitely wicked and falling short of righteousness.
Right. Yeah, that 3 is emphasis and completion. And he has it 3 times. He has that 6 3 times. This man is set up as a son of perdition. Right. So and we go through the precepts dealing with the number 3 and the number 6. The precepts explain the Bible. They're going to use to support each other and break things down. All right. Brothers understand? Come. And with that, we're going to close out. We're going to head to camp, giving our honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Kwame Yasha Allah. Most High willing, Israel was edified. Shalom.